Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in this workshop. So we will be doing this in a virtual option since everybody is going into finals, which, by the way, good luck to everyone. We hope that you do great. And so we are having this virtual option for you guys. We will be having a Google form at the end that you guys can fill out once you are done watching this presentation, along with the slideshows that we will give you, and then that will count towards your attendance for the professional development workshop that you are mandatory to attend every quarter as a project spell tutor. So please make sure and don't forget to turn in the Google form after you watch this video. So me and Leslie are just going to go over this last workshop for winter quarter, and it's going to be pursuing certifications and credentials. And we will be going over different certifications, what they are, how you can receive them, and different credentials. So what certifications will look like on your resume? Certifications could either be for a job or they could be academic. You could pursue them on your own for personal interest to build up your resume, or you could get them specifically for a job or a field that you're looking to work in. So that's what we will be going over today. And usually you should include these in your resume because it will boost your resume. And then according to what job you're applying for, there's different credentials and certifications that you could receive to help yourself in those areas. So what is a certification? A certification is the process of endorsing an individual's skills or knowledge through a third party. The process usually involves an exam and it requires ongoing and future maintenance. So you will most likely have to continue renewing it through a period of time after you receive a certification. Usually it's about 3 to 4 years, but you will have to renew it after that time. A certification is offered through associations or credentialing bodies, so it can be achieved by meeting these standards and passing a certification exam. Certifications are key in maintaining industry standards through individual competencies. So they may be required in order for you to hold a specific job or position. And they also provide career development and skill building opportunities for professionals in every field. Who offers certifications? They are offered to the individual specifically. So by becoming certified, professionals gain an objective measure of their competency and establish authority within a specific industry. Non-governmental agencies, industry boards, or associations will typically offer certification programs to their constituents. So specific agencies of your field usually offer these and may even require them for certain positions. An example of this would be your food handler certification. So if you want to work in fast food or anything food related, your job will usually pay for it, but you do need a food handler certification to be able to work with food. So it's an example of how it is a certification that is required in order to hold a specific job. So the different steps to receive a certification. The first one is to apply. The second one is to submit a host of candidate information. The third one is register for tests and reviews. The fourth one is pay fees. And the fifth one is rectify, reaccredit as necessary. So usually, depending on who is having you receive the certification, usually they're specific to an individual. Your company will either pay your fees or you can pay it on your own and you will be reimbursed later. And then you will need to recertify and reaccredit these as necessary. Like I said, there's different time periods that are set for how long a certification is valid for. So there are 3 different kinds of certifications that we will be going over during this presentation. So the first one is profession-wide. So the first one would be chartered financial analyst. That's an example. Registered architect or commercial pilot's license. So these certifications are given by specific organizations or companies, and they may be required or necessary for the field that you're working for. Skilled trade. So we have specific examples in here. We have HVAC mechanics, carpenters, welders. That's skilled trade that you obviously need a certification for in order to hold this job. You need to be able to show that you are proficient in the skilled trade that you have. And then for healthcare, these are additional certifications that you can have along with a bachelor's degree. So a licensed practical nurse, a dental assistant, or an emergency medical technician.
Along with these certifications, we also have basic credentials that you can also include in your resume. So although these don't pertain to a specific field or a specific organization, we do have additional skills that you can gain from gaining these credentials. And that includes a certificate in first aid, which if you're working in healthcare or plan on working in healthcare, it is very crucial. It's very beneficial to have on your resume. Even if you're not working in healthcare and you're simply just looking for any particular job, just having a certificate in first aid can help a lot, just because it's always a great addition to your resume, and then your skills and just who you'll be working with it is very, very beneficial. With that, we also have a certificate in CPR, which also is very beneficial, just because you never know when you'll need it, especially if you're going to work with healthcare or you're working with kids. For example, people who are thinking of pursuing an education degree or like social work, if you're a sociology major, or any of the humanities majors who might work with kids in the future, or just high school students, a certificate in CPR is very important and beneficial for you. Also very easy and not very short term. So you can always pursue that to add to your resume. And then we also have teacher certified. So that's more for people who are looking to actually become teachers. You do have to be certified to gain that profession. And it also doesn't take that long. So it's just for anyone who's thinking of going into the arts or is pursuing a bachelor's of arts right now. Very basic credentials that you can gain and add to your resume. Always looks very good. So now, what is a credential? A credential is issued by a third party with an authoritative power, and it is proof of an individual's qualification or competence in a given subject. Possessing a credential demonstrates competency and proper training. Credentials serve as a verification that a professional has achieved a baseline level of competency in his or her subject matter. Unlike a certification, however, a credential does not have to be renewed. These usually are given to you once you complete what is required by whoever's giving it to you, and it stays there forever. So you're certified, you no longer have to renew it. You don't have to renew it every 3 to 4 years or or annually even. It's just permanent. So it's so nice. It's always so nice to get it. And these usually follow your name and a comma. For example, an example here would be Leslie Sierra, comma, MBA. So that demonstrates that you have a master's in business administration. And then oftentimes, like, many people have different credentials. So I know lots of people who pursue a master's, but also a bachelor's, also a PhD. So you'd have like Leslie Sierra, MBA, and then PhD, indicating that you're both certified at the master level and also at the doctor level. So that's always very nice to have. And it is the first thing you see on your resume. Instead of just having your typical Leslie Sierra or just like your name, you would have both credentials following your name, which already stands out a lot to companies and people who are willing to hire you. Now, who issues a credential? So like I said, the credential is issued by a third party with authoritative proof. So this might include community colleges. Usually they will give you an associate's degree. Universities, which will give you a bachelor's, master's, and even PhD. Government agencies, employers, and trade organizations offer these certificates. So a trade organization, like Anya said earlier, would also give you like HVAC certificate, just like a skill certification to have and a skill job that you'd have. Types of credentials, more specifically, are DDS, which is a Doctor of Dental Surgery. Like I said earlier, also an MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration. PhD, which is a Doctor of Philosophy. It's like the highest level of education or highest credential that you can get in a specific field or area. Then we have registered nurse, which is a type of nurse. LPN, also a different type of nurse, licensed practical nurse, and then clinical nurse specialist, which is CNS. These are just some examples. Obviously, everyone's different. The most common would be just a BA, which is a Bachelor of Arts, which is very general to the entire humanities area, or a BS, which would be a Bachelor's of Science, which is also very general to the entire science area, and which is what we will all probably have after graduating and after completing these 4 years. Now, just to know, like, just to choose the right certification, choosing the right certification is always the hard part, and actually knowing what you're going to do. So some tips that I would give you guys would just be to look into your field. So what exactly, what certifications possess skills that your ideal job would value? So what is it what they're looking for and what you're going to be doing? Expand your options. So maybe you're pre-health, but you know, if you want to actually like add more to your resume, it's always nice to look in the arts, or just even if you're like pre-law right now, like it's nice to go into and expand your options into like maybe pre-health. That way, like maybe I won't need a like a certification in first aid or even just CPR, but it's always nice to have that. It adds to your resume, and it's always better to have extra certifications than to not have any. And like I said, is a great resume booster. It expands your potency when exploring jobs. And then, although it is only a small section on your resume, it is also the last area. So it is your last final impression. Having it at the bottom of the resume, you think since it's so small, like companies aren't or hires aren't even going to look at it. But since it is the last box, it is like the final touch. It is like the cherry on the top of, oh, this person has extra certifications. We are willing to hire him. And basically, it's just like it shows how consistent and even like how diligent you are as a person, just because you went that extra mile, you went out of your way to get that, even though it wasn't required for you to get your major or what to get your degree basically. And just having that extra thing shows how how hardworking you are as a person, and even just how committed you'd be to like expand your options and go out of your way to meet those standards. So it is very, very important. Although we always see it on resumes, but I know we don't really know what to put. Even I myself haven't found exactly what it is what I want to add, but definitely that's something, that's a goal I have this summer, to add to my resume. It's very important. And just expand your options, look exactly into your field, what you're looking for, and you'll find exactly what you need. So once again, thank you everyone for watching. We wish you the best of luck during week 10 and finals week. I know we try to keep it short just because I know we're all super busy right now, and on top of all our lectures that I'm sure some of us have to watch, we didn't want to add more to your watching list. You will all do amazing. I'm sure you all will. And don't forget to submit the Google form after watching this presentation to receive attendance credit. As you all know, this is the last workshop of the quarter. And for those of you who haven't attended a PD event, this would be your only option now, just to watch the recording and to get those attendance points, because remember, one PD event is required per quarter. Once again, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you ever need anything or ever just need any tips on anything. You can always reach us through the GroupMe, or you can reach us through email at myself at saraleslie@gmail.com, or Anya Venegas 725 at g.ucla.edu. So thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have an amazing week.